got to have three things to be a good wrestler. All right, I'm convinced that. Number one, I think you got to have technique. All right, guys, all the technique I showed you this week is the same thing that I showed my Graham High School guys for 17 years as the head coach. All right, I know a head inside single chase ankle works. I know it works. I also know a head outside rotate double works. I also know a front headlock, either a head in the hole works or a butt drag works. Know all that stuff works. All right, so you got to be technically sound. All right, that's number one. Number two, guys, I don't have anymore. You got to have this. You got to have horsepower. The time to get strong, guys, is from now until November. All right, we didn't have to wait year round. But guys, just to let you know, my senior year in college, I cut from 178, which was stupid, all the way down to 150. And that's back when everyone cut weight. I mean, you guys, Coach Archer, whatever. We had guys losing 15, 20 pounds a week. It's crazy, all right? So, as Coach Jane, he also knows that on weight cutting. But you know what, guys? I never forget, I was benching 305, hit my max 305 when I weighed 178. When I got to 150, I lifted all during season just to try to maintain. The day after the national tournament, I went in to lift with my brother, all right? Day after the national tournament, I go in to lift with my brother. I tried to max bench, and guys, I about killed myself to do 225. So guys, I lost 80 pounds on my bench in 3.5 months. And guys, I lifted during that time. So I'm telling you, you know what, guys? The time to get strong is from March until November. No substitute for this. Plus, if I'm stronger than you guys, even though you're better, I can always catch you in pinning. So you got to be technically sound. And number two, you got to have horsepower. All right, if you're not lifting, lift. All right? And I'm convinced, guys, the third thing is the most important, is you got to be mentally tough. Some people call it guts, some people call it balls, some people call it the will to win, some people call it heart. I call it the attitude. What makes a guy 10 seconds left, you're down by a point, you can throw technique and strength aside, you got to go out and take that guy down. That's just willpower. All right, and that is the hardest thing to coach. I guarantee you, ask Coach Jane, you ask any of these coaches, what's the hardest of the three? Well, guys, it's really easy. Technique. You know what? All these coaches know technique. They all know get in the weight room, throw weights around. The hardest thing to teach is this right here. And the only way I knew how to do it, guys, my brother had a great quote. He said, the amount of confidence you have is directly related to how hard you work. The amount of confidence you have is directly related to how hard you work. And I always say this, if your goal is to be a state champ and you really dive in and you're willing to suffer, you're going to train really hard. The harder you train, the more important that goal becomes of being a state champ. The more important that goal becomes of being a state champ, the harder you're going to train. And all of a sudden, you get that snowball going in the right direction, guys. And I'm telling you what, you can do some great things just by suffering and having that attitude. Does that make sense, guys? And you know what, guys? When I was at Purdue, my whole goal was I wanted to be the best coach in the country. So that's my whole goal. When I left Wisconsin, I went to Purdue. I could figure out weightlifting. That's real simple. You get in the weight room, you throw weights around, you get strong. Lift 4 times a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. I can figure out technique, guys. I called USA Wrestling. I go, who's the best technician in the whole world? Called USA Wrestling, Colorado Springs, back in 1989. I go, who's the best technician in the whole world? They saw that's real simple, Dave Schultz. I said, he's my coach the last 2 years. Who's the second best technician in the whole world? I never forget what they told me. Arsen Fedzai. I go, oh, I said, he won 4 world titles and 2 Olympic titles. No, he won 5 world titles and 2 Olympic titles. I said, you got any film on him? Yeah, we got 4 hours and 45 minutes of film on him. I said, how much for the film? $99.99. You know what I did? I sent a check out for $99.99 to USA Wrestling, and I got 4 hours and 45 minutes of Arsen Fedzai. And I sat in a little cubby hole, and I watched all of his technique. All right, that's where I picked up the head outside rotate double. I don't know what Fedzai called it. Probably something in Russian. But anyway, you know what, guys? I started figuring out technique. The hardest thing for me to figure out was this up here. And you know what, guys? I'm not very smart, but I started reading. All right? I love to read. I still read. I probably read 50 books a year. All right? My wife thinks I'm an idiot. I lay in bed at night and I got a little lead light on my head, and I'm reading a book while she's sleeping and snoring. But you know what, guys? I read this book in 1989. I forget even what the book's called now, the title of it. All about this. And they did a story in there, guys, that literally shocked me. All right? This psychiatrist brings a guy in to do an experiment on him. You guys look, the psychiatrist brings a guy in to do an experiment on him. Chair here, and a chair here. In between the chairs was a 4x8 sheet of plywood. All right, in the middle of that plywood, guys, there was a hole in that plywood. Psychiatrist tells the guy, put your arm through the hole in the wall. This guy puts his arm through the hole in the wall. Psychiatrist wraps a towel, all right, around the guy's arm. Guy cannot see the psychiatrist. The only thing the psychiatrist can see the guy is the guy's arm. You guys with me? But they can hear what each other's saying. Why? It's just a 4x8 sheet of plywood. Psychiatrist does this. Unbelievable. Picks up an ice cube. He starts rubbing right here on the guy's forearm. As he's rubbing on the forearm, he tells this guy over and over again, I'm slowly burning your arm. Hang tough, I'm slowly burning your arm. This guy, all right, in the story is going, doc, it's killing me. It's killing me. He goes, hang tough, I'm slowly burning your arm. He does it for 10 minutes. He rubs that ice cube on this guy's forearm. After 10 minutes, he throws the ice cube away, takes that towel, wipes the little water spot off. There's a big red mark there. Why? Because the ice is cold. Made his skin turn red. Psychiatrist says, come back and see me tomorrow. And guys, this is what shocked the living crap out of me. Next day, the guy comes in. Psychiatrist walks up to him, grabs the guy's wrist, turns it over, and right there, guys, where he was rubbing that ice cube, what you got to understand, true story, was a blister. Now, guys, what you have to understand, that is physiologically impossible to happen. The ice cannot cause the blister. You know what actually happened, guys? This idiot psychiatrist, I hope your dad's not a psychiatrist, convinced this man over here that he had some type of fire, some type of flame, some type of acid, something to burn his arm. And you know what happened? His body reacted to that and formed a blister. Now guys, what the freak does that have to do with my camp? All I'm saying is, if a psychiatrist can convince some man that he's burning his arm with an ice cube in a blister form, think guys, if the goal was that important to you, well, you guys convince yourself to do it. Well, you know what, guys? Your coaches, all right, they're trying to convince you how tough you guys are. And you know what? You guys come to camp, you guys did this all week. Pound. The only thing I'm asking, guys, when you guys go home, keep doing it, guys. Just don't go home. Most people, guys, I'm being honest. Most people, when you guys go home, you know what you got to do? You're going to sleep in your bed tonight. You're going to wake up tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I don't know, 1 o'clock, and all of a sudden you guys are going to do this. Yes, I'm done with Jordan's camp. I ain't freaking running today. That's what 99% of you guys are going to do. Why? It's an easy thing to do. You know what the hard thing to do is, guys? You guys get up tomorrow morning, go brush your teeth, and all of a sudden say, you know what? I've ran for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I've ran for 4 straight days. Might as well run for the 5th day. Tommy Rollins, guys, I don't know if you guys ever heard of him. Tommy Rollins was a heavyweight. He always says this. He goes, if you run for 31 straight days, what are you going to do that 32nd straight day? What do you think you're going to do when you get up in the morning? You're going to run. Why? It's become a habit. If you don't run for 31 straight days, what do you think you're going to do that 32nd day? You're probably not going to run. Does that make sense, guys? Guys, I know one thing. You know what I'm going to do tomorrow morning? If I'm the last one out of bed. Done it for the last 15 years. When I first got married, guys, I'd be the last one out of bed. I wouldn't make the bed. My wife would always come back in and make the bed. I know that sounds crazy, guys, and you've all heard all get up and make your bed. You know what, guys? Last 15 years, if I'm the last guy out of bed, I freaking make the bed every morning. Every morning, start my day out. Every day. You know what, guys? I was running late today. I was tired this morning. I got up, run to the bathroom, got me coffee, I'm brushing teeth. I was getting ready to leave. I was the last one out of bed. I looked over that bed, put my coffee cup down, went and made bed. Why? Just the right thing to do. If you always do what's right, you can never be wrong. Does that make sense, guys? Hey, thanks for coming, guys. I wish you guys the best.